roughly about 10 minutes to go. So 83 minutes as it is, and Celtic have been knocked down a few positions in the Champions League. 3-2 game in the Champions League away from home. Bad start. Celtic got off to a really bad start. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. Having to fight back for that. Tell you one thing though, Adam Ida, eat your heart out. Adam Ida, eat your heart out. There's not going to be many Adam Ida haters on tonight, that's for sure. There's not going to be many Adam Ida haters on. Yeah. Adam Ida taking both these chances, absolutely brilliant. The second one especially. Yes, you can. If you get a One Celtic fans tattoo, you can get a mention. Nice to see Brendan Rodgers bringing on some of the younger players, namely Daniel Cummins. It'd be absolutely fantastic if Cummins was to get a goal, but I think Brendan Rodgers is trying to just make sure that Vila don't score another. The thing is, see if we'd had Jota playing tonight, if we had get when you see the bench tonight, it shows we need signings. I've been saying that for days now. I've been saying that for at least a week. We're currently weaker. The squad is currently weaker than what it was at the beginning of the Champions League. It's currently weaker. And you're right, it's half a team away from home. When you look at the players that are missing, and you look at Jota that can't even travel to this game, Jota would have made a massive difference tonight. Massive difference. And for once, we're not actually missing Kyogo, because I think that Adam Ida played brilliant. Took both his goals perfectly. Put it this way, Kyogo would never have scored the second goal that Adam Ida scored. He would never have got his leg up that high. Yeah, no, struggling to get past them. I feel like Engels is not worth the price tag. Engels has actually had a good game, according to Neil Lennon. He said that he had a brilliant game. See, couldn't get us a cross in now. Too long. Come on, that was never a foul. Never a foul. Kuhn just kept onto the ball too long there. If he had passed the ball just a little bit quicker, you've got to hit them on the break. You can't try and walk through them. Jota not match fit, and not be for a while, says Shea. If Kyogo was playing, he wouldn't have scored the second easy. He would have scored the second easy. No chance. The ball was going behind Adam Ida when he gets his leg up for it. Not a chance could Kyogo get his leg that high. Not a chance. Yep, we're a bomb scare at the back. I did say that before the game even started. That was my biggest fear, was the back line, and it's proved right again. Scales, sorry, but all you Irish boys that say Scales should be starting, Scales is just, he costs us goals all the time. Scales costs us goals all the time. I'm not sure if Palmer's had a touch of the ball. Manchester City are safe. That Villa penalty, I know, that Villa penalty, it was worth watching the game just for that miss. Where was the Celtic players' first 5 minutes? They came out and attacked. They absolutely came out and attacked, and they didn't let Celtic. They didn't let Celtic have 2 minutes to breathe. It's nice to see them doubling up on Kuhn a lot as well through the game. They're just sitting back. They know that Celtic don't have enough firepower to get on. Don't think it was a penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty either. To be fair, and it was karma. It was karma missing it, wasn't it? And it was the miss of all misses. I mean, that'll go down as the worst miss ever. Missing Maida's pressing. I don't think Maida wouldn't have made a difference tonight because we're not hitting on the break. Maida likes to. I can understand missing his pressing, but Maida is better. Come on, Paulo. Come on. Ah, Jesus. I'll tell you one thing. Palmer just made a run back there, but he's Casper Schmeichel. Yeah, it's Casper's. Yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty. To be fair, listening to Villa Celtic on the radio, and Man City. It's because Man City have now qualified. Man City were sitting in 26th at one point, 27th I think it was, but they've scored a good few goals. I'll tell you one thing, so much for English football. The atmosphere's terrible. If this is the best league in the world, the atmosphere is absolutely terrible. Ah. What was he thinking? What was he thinking? It's always the it's always the thing when you give younger players the opportunity that haven't had any first team action. You can understand why Brendan Rodgers brought the young lad on. I mean, he's one for the future, and you're hoping that he can do things right. Cameron Carter Vickers is injured. Well, Big Murray came on, so Brendan was going to give him some game time, but he does. He should have just booted it. He's tried to play. I mean, you see him banging. He knows he made the mistake. I mean, he's a big lad. Oh well. Adamida double can't save us. Adamida double can't save Celtic. That's the thumbnail. It's not the result we wanted, and where are we in the Champions League? Have we done enough? Have we done enough? Yeah, they've done enough. And it is all about goals. I said this earlier in the Champions League campaign. Celtic would rue the missed opportunities. The missed opportunities due to the fact that it's all going to be about goals in this league, and it just this shows us for next season in the Champions League, because let's face it, we're not going to get past the knockout phase. We're not going to get into the last 16. We're not going to get into the last 16. So it is a case now about looking forward and seeing exactly what we can do next season. And I think this has been a big learning curve for the manager and And that's it over. Hat-trick hero. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We are still we're facing Bayern Munich. Artur Pashada should have stayed on and defending was poor. Kasper Schmeichel kept us in the game. We're going to get either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the next round. Do we head back to Madrid? I hope we do. Madrid or Germany? Not easy. Even Baz listening gave a good of ourselves. We did give a good. We could have done better. What was young Murray doing? You can't blame Brendan Rodgers for that. They're not bottle merchants. Celtic are weak bottle merchants. No, they're not. Jet ski mafia. Never even seen you on the channel before. Celtic are not weak bottle merchants. And they're playing with half the team. I mean, the bench was full of B team. It was a depleted team. And it is what it is. Do you know? It is what it is. Jota free kick against Madrid again. Yeah, that could come in handy. Villa are a good team. You got to put that out there. Villa are a good team. Celtic weren't in the races the first 10 minutes. We missed Cameron Carter-Vickers. Scales, I'm going to say it, but what Scales was doing for that, for Scales way far too up the pitch, the left-hand side. Don't forget Rangers fans are getting beat by United. They're probably going to slag us. Who cares about them? This is the Champions League. The fact that we've qualified for the knockout phase of the Champions League. Took Scales off for what reason? I would never have played Scales. Either did great. He did do that, and either if you look at the thumbnail, Trusty's a waste of money. I don't think so. Everybody's thinking with emotions at this point. Scales deflection, man. Scales deflection. Scales far too far up the park for one of the goals, and fair play to all the fans. Fair play to all the Celtic fans that are in the stadium. We have to keep our heads high. Always a party when the mighty Glasgow Celtic are in town. I blame the camel strip for the defence missing. I don't. And then you've got all the Aston Villa players trying to see where they are in the Champions League table and where exactly are Celtic. Well, it's not as bad as what it was because Celtic were down in 22nd, 23rd, I think, at one point. But Celtic have finished the Champions League phase on 21st position. 21st position on 12 points. 12 points, I was right. I said at the beginning of the campaign that we would finish on 12 points, and I was right. I should start being a betting man, I think. I did say at the start of the campaign, a lot of people said 15 points. I thought it was maybe without our reach. Fucking, I can't even be arsed anymore. Jesus. I did think that this was one game that would maybe have got beaten, and we did. I think when you look back at Celtic, we've got 3 games that we draw and I think that had a big impact. Had a massive impact. That is the league done and dusted. There's only 1 game still playing, and there's 2 games playing. Liverpool, PSV, but it makes no difference to the table. No, Man City are at 22nd, so they've sneaked in. Real Madrid or Bayern, unbelievable. Atalanta will be raging. Atalanta got knocked out of the top 8 at the last minute with them, obviously with Aston Villa finishing 8th position, scoring those goals against Celtic and obviously winning the game. But it just shows you, even if Celtic did get something at this game, we would have finished around about 15th. We would have finished no more around about 14th, 15th. No, we would have finished 15th if we'd won the game. So we wouldn't have got into the top 8. If we'd won 4-0, we might have had a chance. But scoring 2 goals away from home is not a bad is not a bad result. Getting beat 4-2, ultimately Brendan Rodgers made the changes towards the end of the game to bring on some of the young guys, and fair play to him. Fair play to Brendan Rodgers. Next round we'll have Jota and hopefully Kieran Tierney. I'm not necessarily worried about Kieran Tierney. I think that we need another striker to come in, and I would even say that something in the midfield, a defender. We need another defender. We need a defender that can play at this top level. For all the plaudits that we give Scales on the league basis, Murray's pish. He's just stepped. How could you say Murray's pish when he's just played his first game for Celtic? He's not had any first team. You're thinking with emotions. Brendan Rodgers give a young guy an opportunity. Bench not strong enough. Yeah, Peter King, the bench wasn't strong enough. When you look at the bench, it was full of young players, and it was full of B team players. Where's the image? Let's get the other video one. Not that one. Bayern or Real Madrid? Great, isn't it? What a fixture. So there's the team. There's the team that Celtic started with. When you look at the bench, I mean, the bench was full, apart from Palmer, Cowan, Norobski, Bernardo. You've got Montgomery. You've basically got three young guys that have came through the B team. They've come through the B team. No first team football at all. And for the fact that they managed to get two of them on the pitch, it's fair play to Brendan Rodgers, even though it wasn't the best result. But it gives the players the belief that they can do something at Celtic. They can get into that first team. They can play Champions League football. And that's what the players want. That's what they want to know that they can get at Celtic. And that's what will keep them at Celtic. Giving them that little bit of taste of their first. I mean, Daniel Cummins getting his debut for Celtic in the Champions League is massive for him. The draw is on Friday, Liam. The draw is on Friday at 11 o'clock. Wonder if CCV is scared of the Champions League. He always goes missing in important matches. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that as well. It's not tomorrow, it's Friday. Friday the draw. Friday at 11 o'clock is the draw. Two on the pitch, gifted Villa. Yeah, we did. John Shirley says, big task, Bayern or Real Madrid? We're not getting past either, are we? Baz Vickers is always injured before big games. I know. Kevin, I know this, and I think that it's one of the worst things about Cameron Carter-Vickers. I think it is time that Brendan Rodgers does start looking at don't even get me talking about Yang, because I said before the game started that Yang was a complete nightmare of a player, and he's by no means is he any level. Daniel says he feels sorry for young Murray. Yep, so they are. But fair play to Brendan. I'll say it again. Fair play to Brendan for bringing the young players on and getting them an opportunity to play at the highest level with Celtic. And they're one for the future. Dane Murray's one for the future. Daniel Cummins, come on. Hank said, who the hell's number 55? Daniel Cummins is a fantastic young player. And let's hope that we can keep him at Celtic. He's a fantastic striker. When you see some of the goals that he scored for the B team, but it's all about, Brendan Rodgers will say, it's all about giving them their football education. Now, we're not in a position as a club to bring in younger players on a week-to-week basis, because every game's a must-win game. If you start doing that, people start questioning the squad, and then, like tonight, going on about the squad isn't big enough, the squad isn't good enough. Well, you look at the players that are out on loan from Celtic and that have been sold in this window. would Kyogo have made a difference tonight? I don't really think so, but I think that Cameron Carter-Vickers being missing is a big, big loss. Yang, we're not going to have Dyson Maeda for the next game, so then that opens another opportunity for, well, you know what's going to happen anyway. He's just going to play. I can't even talk. We got off to such a bad start. Time for the boardroom to earn their. Aye, exactly. I think this is when the transfer market will ramp up now for Celtic. You'll see quite a lot of action in the next coming days. I think that I always said get tonight out of the way, and then the transfer market for Celtic will really heat up. You'll see a couple of players leaving. Will that be Louis Palmer's last charade, last hurrah, last game for Celtic? Why are half the fans doom and gloomers? Get a grip. Yeah, we've just qualified for the knockout stages of the Champions League. Well, not the knockout, but the playoff place. We haven't qualified for the knockout games. We've qualified for a playoff place, and then to get to the last 16, we need to beat Bayern Munich or go back to Madrid and beat Real Madrid, and that's a feat that I'm not looking forward to. Real Madrid, they won 3-0 tonight against Brest. Brest actually had a goal ruled offside, and that was away from home, but we know what Real Madrid can do. I mean, Real Madrid have just... I mean, Barcelona were top of the La Liga for a while when Real Madrid has just overtook them, and they're coming in a bit of form. I would have liked to meet Real Madrid at the earlier part of the season when they weren't hitting form and they weren't that good. And then Bayern. Oh, Jesus. What is the point? What is the point? It's the worst of two evils. I mean, they beat Bratislava. Put it this way. They only beat Bratislava at home 3-1. And Harry Kane did score. But they are flying high at the top of the German league. So it's take your chances. You either take the team that's flying at the top of the German league, or you take your chances with the team that's flying at the top of the Spanish league. Whatever happens in the draw on Friday, we've got a couple of fantastic teams and games to look forward to. We didn't disgrace ourselves at all. If it was Villa at Celtic Park, I would have taken Celtic to win that. But it is what it is, and it was a away game. Are we getting Bayern, Madrid or Bayern? Yeah, we'll find out on Friday. The draw is at 11 o'clock on Friday. Anyway, bad start to the game. Bad start to the game. But it is what it is. Adam Ida comes up with a couple of cracking goals in the first half. The second one was absolutely brilliant. Happy clapping losers on here. This is Jet Ski Mafia. Happy clapping losers. Who is Jet Ski Mafia? I've never seen him on this channel before. There's always ones that get away in there. At least we're in the Champions League. That's the main thing. At least we are in the Champions League. And look at the good point as well. For the next two games, Celtic Park will be sold out, whoever we get. And Celtic will also get 2.8 million for the next two games. So it's even more money in the bank. So you have to look at the good side of it, the big side of it, and the financial gain that Celtic have got for getting through to the next two games is massive. And then you've also got the money that will come in from rumours on loan from Man United left back as an alternative to Tierney. Tierney's coming in the summer, Stevie. It doesn't matter. I mean, Tierney's coming in the summer. It's whether we can get a left back in before we play these games. That's the big question. And then there's lots of permutations of what can happen in the transfer window the next couple of days, because Greg Taylor may be sold. I don't think he will, because Alex Bailly, Kyogo, who exactly? I'm on the tick. Aberdeen FC, you're worth listening to, Baz, and yes, you're still in the Champions League. Thank you, Ian. It's difficult to be disappointed with the result, considering we had so many players out that would have started that game tonight. Players that have left the club now. I mean, the fact that Alex Bailly, Jesus Christ, was that 100? Jesus Christ, yeah, Ian Aberdeen, thank you for that unbelievable super chat. Wow, absolutely wow. Thank you. Thank you to Ian Aberdeen for a £100 super chat. That's a super chat and a half. But getting back to Celtic, defensive frailties once again shown us up at this level. You cannot go running forward the way that Scales was. Why was Scales so far forward and leaving that left back position? Anybody knows it's bad enough if Greg Taylor runs forward and leaves the big gap. Brendan Rodgers has to change the system. It's not the night to talk about it. It's not the night to talk about changing systems, changing players. But if we do change the left back, it is a case of we need to change the system, because we're getting found out far too often in the left back area. Scales was far too far up the pitch for me, but when it comes to we're still there. We are still there in the Champions League. And when you look at the league at the end of the day, we were so close, but so far we do end up in the Champions League on 21st position. But Adam Ida, where's all the Adam Ida haters? Where is all the Adam Ida haters now? Adam Ida's been getting stick for weeks, and he pops up with two absolutely fantastic goals tonight. Ray's coming in from Vietnam. We gave a great account of ourselves tonight, considering the players out. It was a competitive game. Looking forward to the knockout game. Great occasion. It will be a great occasion. It's one of those occasions that you want to be in. You want to be in. It's as simple as that. I mean, look how the Aston Villa players ran to the side of the pitch. To see if they had qualified in the top 8. This is how important it was for them to finish in the top 8, because they know themselves that they didn't fancy going into that playoff position. You know, the playoff position, it's an anyone game, but their players were delighted that they just managed to sneak into that top 8 position. I mean, they finished 8th. They were down at 14th at one point. Aston Villa, they were down at 14th. I mean, if Celtic had went 3-2 up, it could have been a different game. If we managed to get our nose in front, it could have been a completely different game. But we didn't. We'll give them two goal of an early start, and that's what Brendan Rodgers will talk about. Brendan Rodgers will talk about the fact that they got 2 goals to a start, and at that point, everyone's thinking, not Dortmund all over again. Please, Celtic, do not collapse like we did in Dortmund. And they never done that. And that is the good thing. But the frailties of the defence is there for everyone to see. We need to go and spend, I mean, if we're going to spend 10, 12, 14 million pound on a striker, I think we need to be spending 10 to 15. If we've got any aspirations to try and achieve anything in the Champions League. Now, what we've achieved is fantastic. But last 16 was with this close to but then again, drawn 3 games in the Champions League was probably our downfall. Anyway, good advertisement for Scottish football. It was a cracking advertisement. And need to talk about Kasper Schmeichel. Because Kasper Schmeichel, once again, I mean, he got sent the wrong way for the penalty. You'll give him that. But the penalty will go down as one of the best, funniest penalties ever. I mean, I don't know what happened to the grass, but the grass just disappeared for the guy's feet. Have we peaked? Says GR8 Kev. I think that this squad, these players, have peaked. I think that Rio Hatate needs to hit the target. If Rio Hatate takes his shot and it hits the target, it's going in. Too many times did Rio Hatate miss his target. And I think that is the difference between real top class teams at this level. Talks of getting Vardy. Oh, we'll wait and see on that one. We'll wait and see on that one. Mark says that nothing to do with the fact that I'm proud of him, but I'm glad to show his best. Anyone who thinks that Ida seemed in a bit of a mood. Ida was right in the mood, Mark. I think that Um, Ida was, he will have seen or he will have heard the noise from outside Celtic. I mean, the players look online and stuff, and they will see the criticism. Brendan Rodgers says it. Nobody's adverse to criticism, and I think that Adam Ida wanted to prove to all the Celtic fans, it's like, Kyogo, who? I'm here. I'm the one that won you the Scottish Cup final, remember, back in May last year. I'm the player that done that. I'm the one that got the goal in the last Champions League game. I think that Adam Ida now will press on. I was fuming to give that penalty away. I was fuming as well. I didn't think it was a penalty. I'll enjoy Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. No pressure. Just go out and do our best and see what happens. There is no pressure, but what you don't want is a tanking over the two legs. You don't want a tanking. Arsenal qualified. They'll go KT at any time. Arteta is let's jump back into the comments. Genuine Coconut says, I've said it once at the start. I'll just see. They should have gave Ida more of a chance. He's a good Irishman. Yep, there's no many Adam Ida hitters going to be around tonight, that's for sure. I thought it was never a penalty. No, it was never a penalty. Casper was outstanding. He made a mistake, guys. Obviously, world class. Casper got lucky with the one that comes off his foot. When it comes off the post and hits his foot and rolls up, he got lucky with that one. Duncan saying good night. And it is what it is. We're in there, and that's all that matters. It is all that matters. When you look at the table, the finishing table of the Champions League, Liverpool have finished on 21 points, Barcelona 19 points, Arsenal 19 points, Inter Milan 19 points, Atletico Madrid 18 points, Bayer Leverkusen 16 points, Lille 16 points, Aston Villa 16 points, Atalanta 15 points. They were pushed out by Villa late on. Dortmund 15 points, Real Madrid 15 points, Bayern 15 points, AC Milan 15 points. Then goes to PSV 14 points, PSG 13 points, Benfica 13 points, Monaco 13 points, Brest 13 points, Feyenoord 13 points, and then Juventus on 12 points and Celtic on 12 points also. We all thought we would try and get 15 points. 15 points was within our reach within this competition, and it just shows you some of the teams that we would be missing going into the playoff position if we had managed to finish in that seeded place. But Man City are below us, Sporting are below us, Club Bruges are below us also. The fact is, Celtic will go into the draw and come out either against Real Madrid or Bayern. What can you say to that? What can you say to that? It is just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It's going to be a game where Celtic fans will travel in their numbers. Quality Man City will draw Munich or Madrid. Leah says Brendan is 3/4 players, decent highs, biggest though, putting right, good side together. Massive famous club. We're stuck in a pub league. We're stuck in the league that it is. I don't think that you can blame the opposition on a domestic level for what happened tonight. We were three good players missing. When you look at Cameron Carter-Vickers, when you look at Kyogo, and when you look at Dyson Maeda missing from that game today. Three massive players. I think that Adam Ida would have started this game today just because of the size of the back line of Aston Villa. I think Adam Ida would have started anyway. But the fact that Dyson Maeda and Cameron Carter-Vickers missing was a massive. I mean, Brendan had a massive shout to make. And fair play to Brendan for having the balls with the last 7 minutes. Having the balls with the last 7 minutes to go. Do you know what? Just give the young boys some game time. Let them experience this level. Because he won't be able to do that in the playoff games. He won't be able to do that in the playoff games at all. He's going to have to stick with his strongest team. And hopefully we'll have a few players in for that. It was good, them getting that experience. It will let them know what they can achieve at Celtic. if they're willing to stick around. Paul Baird, you've lost it. Taylor was great tonight. He's staying. Who do you think was man of the match? I think that Kasper Schmeichel for me. Kasper Schmeichel for me was man of the match all day long. I don't think Villa would have coped well with Dyson playing. I don't think he would. £10 on either, scoring a double, get in, says Reg67. That's fantastic that you've done that. And a big shout out to Ian Aberdeen, who made a super chat of £100. Absolutely bonkers, Ian Aberdeen. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that. Google will thank you also for the 30%. If we play the same way, defensive, can we have a chance against... I think we play Man City. No, we don't play Man City because we play... It's either... They said it on the telly. They said we either play Real Madrid or Bayern. Man City are right below Celtic in the Champions League. We're 21st, Man City are 22nd. So we go into the same pot as Man City. We go into the same pot as Man City. So Man City will either play... they'll not be looking forward to that either because I've got a funny feeling that we'll get the Germans and Man City will get the trip to Spain. I've just got a funny feeling. And because in Man City and Real Madrid, there's a bit of a grudge match there. It'll be interesting to see when the draw comes out. Because either one of us is going to Madrid. I hope it's us, just for personal reasons, because then I can go up and I'm going to try and get a ticket for the game. Woohoo! Aston Villa. Hoops lost in Blunderland. Oh, Jesus. Adam Ida scores a double. Celtic lose out to Aston Villa, but now look ahead to the Champions League playoff. That's information coming out of Celtic themselves. It's always good to see the Celtic take on it, because I don't know who writes the stuff for Celtic, but Celtic says Celtic valiant effort at Villa Park fell short of Aston Villa's edged pulsating encounter. The 4-2 game, final game of the UEFA Champions League phase. The second half strike from Watkins and a hat-trick from Morgan Rodgers provided the decisive, despite the Hoops battling back from 2-0 down early on in the game. The result sees Brendan Rodgers' side finish 21st in the UEFA Champions League phase table. They will now either face Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the playoff rounds. The draw taking place on Friday at 11 o'clock. It starts Celtic Park time. Aston Villa opened the score in the third minute when Jacob Ramsey surged into the box before cutting the ball past Rodgers, who calmly slotted the ball before past Kasper Schmeichel. Moments later, Rodgers doubled Villa's advantage. Yeah, do I need to read this, Celtic, really? But anyway, Rio Hatate had a golden opportunity, but decided to put it wide. The turning point came in 36 minutes when Celtic found a lifeline. Greg Taylor, Yang, Rio Hatate combined for a super down the right before Taylor delivered a dangerous cross into the box. The rest is history. When you look at the possession, they had 58% possession. They had 20 shots in total. They had 8 on target. Celtic had 42% possession. They had 6 shots on total. 6 shots on total. And 4 of them were on target. We had 4 corners and we had 15 fouls. When it comes down to it, you can still win games with those stats. You can win games with those stats, and Celtic have done it before. But it is what it is. I'm not going to complain at all. We're in the draw, and Friday is what it's all about now. Night, even. Right, I hate John McGinn. I think we all hate John McGinn. Engels and Hatate created goals, played superb. Chilpel, what are you on about? People arguing amongst themselves. It's not the night for it. I'm going to have a snog with the wife, Baz. I'm going to. Don't worry. Anyway, we're never disappointed at Celtic. It's just unfortunate that we ended the league phase the way that we did. It's been an absolutely fantastic competition. It's been an absolutely fantastic journey this season in the Champions League. It's one that Celtic fans grasped by the throat at the beginning. Starting off the Champions League with a fantastic win at home. The fans got onto the belief that anything was possible. We were playing absolutely fantastic one-touch football at the beginning of the season. We headed to Dortmund, day 2 of the Champions League. Game day 2, thinking that the world was our oyster and that we could overcome the Germans in Germany. It wasn't to be done. Celtic absolutely fell apart in Germany the first half, and there was 4 goals on before Celtic could even go, how's the game started? But it did. It had started, and the game ended up 7-1. We then went on to Atalanta, and that was also going to be a struggle of a game. Atalanta, who had won the Europa Cup just the season before. Heading in and playing the champions of the Europa League was always going to be a difficult task for Celtic, but Celtic managed to get a fantastic draw away from home, which saved the blushes of Brendan Rodgers and our team, and it put us in a position where we had 4 points in the Champions League. 4 points is a total that we've finished on in many, many seasons before now. The fact is we drew too many games after that. Games that they thought that we would win, we drew. And a game that we thought we would lose, to be fair, we lost it. This one tonight. I thought we might have had it done and dusted well before this game. I did say at the beginning of the season this was one game that I didn't think that we would win, but it was other games that kind of let us down. We move on. We are in the knockout phase. We are in the draw on Friday. I will be back first thing tomorrow morning with a Celtic update, and we could talk about that live and about where we go next for the team and where Brendan Rodgers goes next in the transfer market, because I think that is the big issue at Celtic. And then we can look forward to the draw on Friday. That is going to be a fantastic occasion that Celtic and our band of merry men, let's hope Yang's never near the team, our band of merry men will either go to Germany or head to Madrid. We'll just have to wait and see. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening to all you Celtic fans and fans of any other club that still happens to be watching, wherever you are, all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to